A few months ago, I was sitting in one of those sterile white rooms where the air feels too cold and the silence is deafening. The doctor was using phrases like potential, complication, long-term monitoring, and significant lifestyle changes. All I heard was a dial tone in my head. I walked out of that office feeling like a stranger in my own body. The future I had planned for myself suddenly felt like it was behind a thick pane of glass. I could see it, but I couldn't touch it. It was terrifying. It felt final. That fear was a heavy blanket, and for weeks, it was my constant companion. I felt broken, fragile, and completely lost. I'd wake up every morning with a jolt of anxiety, my heart pounding with a dread I couldn't name. I was afraid to eat the wrong thing, move the wrong way, or make a single mistake that could push me back over the edge. My world had shrunk to the four walls of my home, and my future felt like a question mark. But then, one morning, something shifted. I looked in the mirror and didn't recognize the person staring back. The fear was still there, etched around my eyes, but underneath it, a tiny spark of defiance was fighting to get out. It was a refusal to let this scare define the rest of my life. I realized I had a choice. I could stay broken, marinating in that fear, or I could try to reclaim my life piece by piece. I chose to reclaim it. I didn't have a grand plan or a sudden surge of motivation. I just decided to start with one small change. That one change felt manageable, so I added another and then another. These 7 simple, almost effortless habits are what completely restored my physical and mental well-being. They didn't just restore my health. They gave me my life back. In this video, I'm going to share every single one with you, because if they could pull me out of that darkness, I know they can help you too. Habit 1, the morning brain dump. The first habit I adopted was born out of pure desperation. After my health scare, my mind was a war zone, a constant chaotic loop of what-ifs. What if it happens again? What if I never feel normal? What if I'm secretly getting worse? These thoughts weren't just in my head. I could feel them in my body. My chest was always tight, my shoulders were permanently hunched, and a low-grade hum of anxiety was my new normal. I'd lie awake at night, my mind racing so fast I felt dizzy, and then wake up already exhausted from the mental battle. I felt like a computer with way too many tabs opened. Everything was lagging and crashing. I couldn't focus on a conversation, enjoy a meal, or even watch TV without my mind wandering back to its dark corner of worry. So, I started what I call the morning brain dump. It's exactly what it sounds like. The very first thing I do when I wake up, before checking my phone, before making coffee, is sit down with a cheap notebook and a pen. I write down every single thought, fear, and worry swirling in my head. There's no filter, no judgment, and no concern for grammar. It's just a raw, unfiltered stream of consciousness. Some mornings it's a torrent of frantic, repetitive fears. Other mornings it's just a trickle of mundane anxieties, like an email I forgot to send. The content doesn't matter. What matters is the act of getting it out of my head and onto the paper. It's like I'm physically removing the thoughts from my brain and trapping them on the page. Once they're written down, they somehow lose their power. They go from being these huge, monstrous shadows in my mind to just words on paper, tangible, manageable, and finite. This simple act, which takes maybe 5 or 10 minutes, creates a sliver of mental space. It was the first moment of quiet I'd had in weeks. It didn't solve my problems, but it decluttered my mind so I could actually start to face them. There's a reason many experts see journaling as a powerful tool for managing stress. It lets you process emotions and untangle your thoughts, which can significantly reduce anxiety. For me, it was like taking out the mental trash first thing in the morning. It was the first domino to fall, the one small change that made all the others feel possible. Habit 2, nourishing my body, not just feeding it. Before the health scare, my relationship with food was functional at best. I ate what was fast, convenient, and tasted good in the moment. A typical day might be skipping breakfast, grabbing a sugary pastry with coffee, having a processed sandwich at my desk, and ordering takeout for dinner. I was running on empty, fueling myself with quick hits of sugar and carbs that left me jittery and then exhausted. After the scare, food became a source of intense fear. Every meal felt like a high-stakes decision, and I was terrified that the wrong food would trigger another crisis. This fear paralyzed me. For a while, I barely ate, lost weight, and felt weaker than ever. The irony was that in my attempt to protect my health, my fear-based approach to eating was making everything worse.